Okay, so I've returned back to my room. I have gotten rid of all distractions. Though you see this TV, I don't watch TV anymore and I don't use it. So I'm basically not compelled to go towards it. And as you can see down there, that is my computer and a monitor. I'm gonna probably reconnect the monitor because as I'm doing code work and things of that matter, I plan on using two screens, both from my Mac and from the monitor. Something I wanted to speak about was it's a very amazing concept, I believe. It teaches you to go into something you don't want to do, whatever it may be. Like maybe go into a job you don't want to end up with in the future, like a 9 to 5. You don't want to maybe some sort of people you don't want to surround yourself with in the usual, because I feel like this may change your perspective very deeply. Like, I think working at Quick Check, even though it's a fun job sometimes just because I have so many friends, if I didn't have those friends, it would not be fun. But I feel like it shows me on the type of life that I'm not trying to live. So I don't want to live that life, and I don't think I will end up living that sort of life. But it changes my perspective into thinking I have to do anything I can to not end up here. And same thing goes with people. You surround yourself with the type of people that you don't want to be with. Then you're going to know all the different types of things that they may do that you don't want to end up doing in your future. So then you're going to do the exact opposite of what they do, which is what you want to do. So this just changes your state of mind and this changes your perspective on whatever it may be. You no longer want to work this job. You no longer want to be with this set of people. So you're going to analyze, you're going to actually focus on whatever those people or whatever you do at that job, and you're going to note down exactly what you hate and exactly why you don't want to end up that way and exactly how they might act or what you might do that doesn't make you want to do it. Like something that I noted, or multiple things that I've noted and have really thought about, where when working at Quick Check, I pretty much create no value. I feel like I'm not adding anything to the world besides making sandwiches or setting up for the corporation that's already big for their next day. And then another thing is, you don't get treated like you're human there sometimes. Like people get annoyed at you because you can't do something that is not in your control, which is just so disrespectful because they don't treat you as if you're worth anything. Then another thing is, the people there seem sort of miserable, and I don't want to end up miserable. So I'm seeing how they may act. Like a lot of them are very arrogant, and a lot of them seem to know it all when they're working at Quick Check, and that's just not the reality of things. Another thing is, uh, so many of these people, they're okay with working wages. Like I don't want to work a wage. I want to get paid based off of the value and based off of the info that I can give to people and if they're willing to buy it or not. So wages to me are a waste of time because if you have to get paid on an hourly basis, you could do nothing, create no value, and then you live life normally without getting paid to what you do. But then if you can create value of something, you can be meaningful to others because you're giving them something, and you're pretty much changing their lives practically, or just creating something of value in their lives. Like, though in a minuscule manner, you can think that, oh, Quick Check adds food to somebody's lives. Like, they might be happy if they make a good sandwich or something, but I want to add more impact. I want to add more value. And I don't think that is enough. I want to change people's lives. I want to give them something that they need. And I don't think that working on a wage, I think working by result or get paid off of what you can do. That's a great way of, I believe, doing things. So I think commission is a good manner of doing things or businesses because it pushes your people or pushes whatever you're doing to do more because you're not paying them off an hourly basis because then they're not going to complete anything. But if you pay them on commission and what they can bring in or what they can do for you, then that's worth it. But I want to be the one who pays myself, and that's another thing. Sometimes I feel like I can be working harder than the person next to me, and since I'm not the one paying myself, or since the person who is paying me doesn't have the exact same mind as me and sees if I'm doing something more or less, I don't think it's equal or reasonable. But obviously I work at a minimum wage job, so it's not going to be. And there's probably even more severe cases for other people who really do hate their jobs like immensely. And that's when I urge you to start action and actually decide to do more and use this perspective of the people and the experience you don't want to have and add to it. Like, you have to transform your life. You have to be willing to do something to change your life. And then secondly is it's like something I've noticed was a lot of the people who work at a 9 to 5 job add minimal effort, and that is due to them not having value in their lives. They don't create value, and they don't want to create value, so they do the one thing that doesn't really need much much information or much of anything, pretty much, because it is such a simple job. You don't really have to speak to much people unless you like actually and like start a conversation. But yeah, it's you just don't have a lot of you don't create a lot of value in working at a minimum wage job. And even if you're getting paid more, if you're not happy with the people you're around, if you're not happy with who you're speaking with or who you have to associate yourself with, I'd urge you to get out of it and then live a life that you actually want to live. And then another thing was, as I was speaking about surrounding yourself around the people you don't want to be like, it changes your perspective, because then you start to actually think what they do that just icks you and just isn't the mindset that you want to think in. And this is how they ended up that way. Like, I have a coworker, he's been working there for 2 years. He's not gotten promoted once, and I'm not surprised because he doesn't listen to the rules. Sometimes he steals, and sometimes he's just not he's not an adequate person to speak to. And it just adds it creates a lot of friction in the workspace. And he's been so adamant at getting a promotion, but he knows everything. He just doesn't show himself in the right way. Like he doesn't speak the right way. He doesn't he performs jobs that or the tasks in such a bad manner. So obviously you're not going to get the value that you want if you're not providing enough value. So there's just so many other things that I could pretty much talk about, but I don't want to make this videos too long. But I feel like putting yourself in an environment that you don't want to end up in the future is so essential, just because you see what they do or you see what is wrong with that environment, that you want to avoid it as much as possible. Like, you don't want to be there anymore, and you don't want to be around those people. So you're going to do everything in your power to change your life and to get yourself away from that. And don't be okay with getting something you somewhat like. You have to aim for higher. You have to aim for what you want and what you need. Don't think of your success as a want. Don't think, I want $1 million. Don't think I want a new house. I want something, whatever it may be, something materialistic, or I want happiness. You have to say you need it, because if you need it, you're going to do anything in your power to retrieve it. Just how when we were early humans, we didn't want food. We didn't want that stuff. We needed it to survive. And then we went towards it. We had to hunt. We had to gather our food. We had to do everything we could to get it because we needed it. And you need to change your life right now. So you're going to do that, and you're going to do whatever it takes because you can do it. So just know that sometimes embracing yourself to something you don't want to do and some type of environment you don't want to be in can really change your perspective and change your life to push you to do more.